Hello everybody, welcome back to Building Blocks, where... This is going to be a weird one. Oh wait, I should not have this on screen. This feels like I'm calling out Lucian, doesn't it? Huh. Boy, that would be unfortunate. If anybody remembers how he made a lag switch on our accuracy save and then tormented me with it for 4 hours. Well. Right, so... Here's the story, everybody. That little aside, that little jab, playful jab aside, which is that Elemental has been having troubles for weeks to months at this point, and finally I was able to replace his main hard drive, which I believe is somewhere in the vicinity of 7 to 8 plus years old, and is quite probably failing. Even when we were making Garmer, which is the machine you see on screen here, we had so much trouble cloning that specific drive. Everything else, no problem, but that drive, we had failures up and down. So that drive is probably the reason that we've been having streams descend into utterly dreadful quality and streams freezing entirely. So, yeah. So I've replaced the entire drive, which means I have reinstalled everything, and consequently, one or two things did not quite survive, or at least did not survive in time to, appear on this stream, because literally I have at most 2 days to get everything fixed between streams, so, bit of a hurry. In this particular case, as near as I can tell, the only thing that has actually failed is the software that handles my main camera, my DSLR, who I have just received a support ticket update from, should have been fixed, but that was like 8 minutes before I went live, so it one way or the other, it's a Russell stream today. Green band for pride crimes, yeah, unfortunately, the software that I use to make Russell VideoTube does technically have a transparency setting which would preserve the green, but in short, it don't quite work because I'm pretty sure it's optimized for OBS and not XSplit, so I can just cycle through it there. Look, pink. Yeah, there is transparent. That is supposed to be transparency, but clearly does not quite work for XSplit. I suppose I could take this as an opportunity to actually do everything in OBS, but then I'd have to rebuild literally everything. So, yeah, that's not happening tonight. So for the time being, Russell is in command of this particular stream, which is fine. Tonight, we are doing predominantly texturing work. Namely, we are starting off with the armor textures for the wargs. That sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, exactly. There's 4 scenes in this particular setup alone. There are more in the carousel and just... Huh. So yes, we did get a number of the textures done. We got all of the carpets done, barring a little bit of additional noise to them. So they're looking nice. We did the saddle as well. That's pretty much good. Let me open up Flint so that I can actually have a closer look at these things. We of course have the 3 primary colors of warg, white, brown, and black. We have their eye shine because their eyes glow a little bit in the dark. And we just managed to get the iron armor complete at the end of last stream. The diamond and the gold here they're just huge changes of iron, so they're not accurate. Although yeah, diamond might pass. Diamond might pass. Who knows? So let's just bring in the saddle, and let's also grab, say, where's Cyan? There's Cyan. Okay. So, there we have the saddle, fairly straightforward, and here we have the cyan carpet that you can put on our big doggos, should you wish to ride them into battle, looking all fancy. And we got ourselves, let me just grab all of this, because why not? There we go. And then we got the iron, which doesn't look quite the same as iron horse armor. It takes a lot more cues from player iron armor, Where there is some substantial differences, it must be said. Player iron armor is extremely basic, whereas horse armor includes like chainmail over places. It's pretty staggering how much difference there is. Now, fortunately, I don't have to worry about anything on this end going wonky tonight because this hasn't changed at all. Beauty of a two computer setup is that you can pretty much guarantee at least one half of it will be untouched. Usually. I guess there are some possibilities. But let's have a look at them, shall we? Okay, so there is our warg in iron armor, looking, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit like trinkets from Critical Role, but it looks pretty good, I think. That looks pretty nice. Over here we have the display of all of the carpets, and as I say, most of them just need like a little bit of noise variation to them. They've got their like bulk colors, no problem. I've been playing slightly too much Space Engineers because I just hit E to try and rotate. But yeah, they're looking pretty good, I think. Very nice little rainbow there. And I should have a saddle for you, I believe. Maybe you have the saddle. You have the saddle. There you are. So yeah, we just plonk that on you. I do have a sense that I should maybe just model a saddle and just go with that, because it seems to me like this might be a bit too complex of a shape. I'm not 100% certain. I'm gonna let you decide that, chap. Huh. But otherwise, we have the iron armor, and we've got gold lever in 2 different points to actually do, as well as diamond to do today. Fairly straightforward. Oh, and yes, you can put carpet over the armor just to make it that extra bit extra, I guess. So just blip and blip. Yep. Now your bark is Italian, apparently. So the current state of iron armor, or gold armor rather, is that it is literally just a retexture. It's just a what's the phrase here? A color swap. And it's okay, but if we compare that to the horse, I feel like it's lacking compared to the horse. It's maybe okay if we assume it was like iron, but yeah, there's a lot more shade on the horse's armor. Like, look at that. Like, why are horses so fancy? Apparently, horses are very fancy for a mob that frankly no one cares about. Like, who has ever moved any amount of cargo? Who has ever traveled any amount of distance ever since Elytra and shulker boxes could exist? Like, horses, donkeys, and mules are basically worthless. It's kind of unfortunate for them, and unfortunately, there's not really any reasonable way to like to counter that, to remedy that, without just straight up making everything else worse. Because it's like, of course you like ride thousands of miles in the sky on a Elytra rather than ride a horse that way. Of course you use shulker boxes to carry like an entire storage room's worth of stuff rather than use a mule. Like, horses are kind of pre-end, or for servers that don't allow end access. Yeah, but it's just like, I honestly can't think of even pre-end anybody doing any, like, before the end you just don't do it. you don't bother. It's like, maybe you use a horse for transport because at that point it's fairly fast, but also boats exist. Anyways, we need to figure out the color palettes that we're going to be using for this gold armor, and then we need to try and figure out how to blend between what we have for the iron armor and the gold to try and figure out exactly what this looks like. And I feel we should try and make it look a little bit, at least, more extravagant, shall we say. That at least makes sense to me. So let me grab, real quick, the texture for gold horse armor. And as per usual with a lot of these textures for horses, it does tend to replicate pieces that also exist in completely different textures. If you're moving bases or something, maybe, like, theoretically, the highest capacity transport cargo system is a line of llamas. But llamas are, besides that one specific feature, unequivocally worse than donkeys. So, I don't know. the only benefit of llamas is just that you don't have to leash all of them at once. But it's... Anyways. So let's see. The darkest points and the lightest points here. That is very bright up there, but that's like that is an outlier. That's the head, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that is definitely the headpiece that's like that. Also, unlike the horses, wargs have no neck. So we do need to bear that in mind. The vast majority of it is this kind of color. So let's presume that right there is our primary color palette that we'll be using today. Okay. So let's start by just breaking this down and actually getting it in the proper colors. Which admittedly is a little bit harder now that I've actually changed the hue a whole bunch. There we go. Just to get that back. I should turn on the lo-fi playlist for this. This will still just be the iron armor, but in slightly yellow-orange, but should at least have this right, have the same color palette. Oh, I missed the legs entirely. Oh boy. Oh, don't worry, we'll get there soon. Give us a nice basis of exactly what we're doing, at least. And then we can just gussy it up a little bit to see how it looks. Now, a lot of the time, through no fault of its own, really, golden armor is referred to as butter armor. There's a long story of who started that I'm not even going to remotely pretend that I remember the entirety of. But it's an old story. That should be a good start. Okay. I did miss this part on the helmet, but I actually kind of like that. What if we had that as like a highlight line? What if we had this as like painted golden armor? The question is, what color do we have the paint being, because you won't be able to dye the golden armor. Now we've got the color fixed though, that does look pretty good. It does need to be we do need more light around here, but that is looking pretty nice. A bit more understated than a horse. So how's everybody's week been so far? You doing okay? Staying cool? Maybe a bit more than that. Do I prefer that when it was all darker, I wonder? Hmm. No cool, need warm, but yes, I've been keeping warm. Keeping warm right now is not a challenge here. In the slightest degree. England is dying, Squirtle. Winter in Australia? Huh. Okay, I think that's fine. I just hit X to engage my jetpack. Wow, I really have been playing too much Space Engineers lately. Dang it. I'm going to be like utterly fat fingering my keys all night, I feel. But oh well. It's the price I pay to have an automated drone army. Okay, I think that does look good. We just need to give it some detail, make it look real fancy. Because right now it just looks regular great fancy. So what color do I want to use for these kind of highlight lines, I guess we call them? If we make it an actual color of saturation, then it might mess with people's decor and such. Like if they have like a golden armor on their warg, and we say the golden armor has like lime green in it, then that might clash if they're wearing a pink carpet as well. So I really want something on the scale of white to black. Black tends to go with just about everything. So maybe we go down there. Yeah, I read this is also a brown warg, but ooh. Maybe we should lighten it a little bit. That does look pretty nice. Get somebody to make a goblin armor for wargs as well. It's just like covered in bones and scraps and such. Maybe get rid of that piece that's going up there. Yeah. Okay. Now what do I do for the back and the sides here? Which I'm fairly certain is this portion. Bear in mind, that is the front, and that is the left and the right, and that's the top. Because Minecraft models, right? really want to do too much because this is a very strong colour. And we have a limited palette. Or a limited canvas here. Horses are actually like... Their textures are substantially larger than they really need to be. At least in this version. Maybe they changed it at some point. You know, maybe we just... Honestly, maybe we just keep it as being a head thing. Keep it on the helmet only. I don't think that that's really working right there. Yeah, it looks nice on the helmet. One thing I could maybe think of doing is blending it in a bit more. But I'm not even sure we need to do that, honestly. Yeah, for most of this, it's probably fine. Maybe give that a slight hue of gold. So it blends slightly better. Very high contrast still. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah. Now the golden armor, the golden warg armor has built-in war paint. More or less. Okay, let's see how that looks under carpets. There's a lot going on here, but if you put a saddle, a carpet, and armor onto a warg, of course it'd be fairly busy. And of course, gold and cyan. Ooh, not necessarily the most complementary colours. No, though you are making it work, sir. You are making it work. Okay, let's move on to our next armor, which is diamond. Which again is just this is a very what color do I remember diamonds being kind of texture. I'm not gonna lie. Because that's what diamond armor actually looks like. It's like I was clearly remembering something much different when I chose the hue on this. Ugh. But okay, let's get to it. So gold, done. Again, let's reset this. It should just be what iron looks like. And let me pull up diamond horse armor. And this is, honestly, the diamond I think is like 80%, maybe 90% just a hue change of gold. There's very little difference to it. Like, it's pretty much covering the exact same areas in the exact same way, whereas if we had them in the iron, we actually see this like different texture to different parts of it. I wonder what gave them that particular design decision. Oh, maybe they had the iron armor last. Who knows? Okay, so once again, it is very much this kind of area. That's our main color palette. Now, do we want to put actual, like, face paint onto this as well, or do we want to just make it look different? Make the head armor look different, maybe. Head armor, also known as a helmet. Let's see, it is currently about 15 degrees here. I do have the door open in the fan on, but I also have 2 high-powered computers running in the exact same room. So I'm a wee bit toasty. That color the majority of the horse armor? No, it's the shade that's one step above it that's the majority. Kind of feeling like Diamond deserves a different helmet shape. In which case, what should we make that particular helmet look like? Because we've gone with a very Roman kind of look to most of this so far. Not sure exactly what that implies. Goblins found some Roman ruins or something, I don't know. Goblins are fairly creative creatures at the very least. Not quite as creative as, did I say kobolds or goblins? Kobolds are very good at making traps. They're legendary for that. Goblins are fairly creative. Definitely some detail on these leg pieces. Okay, so this is purely the palette swap stage. See how that looks. Okay, okay. Better. Better than what I originally had, at the very least. Needs detail. Looks okay. I do think I need to add some glint there, which I can do quite happily. Just good old dodge and burn, because reminder, I'm not a very good artist. There we go. A little bit of glint. But okay. Now, what do I want to do? Do I want to turn, like, instead of having this, like, Roman over-the-snoot kind of design, what if it was, like, closer in, more like a gladiator's kind of mask? If I can find out a single example of what on earth I'm referring to. Unfortunately for me, there was a well-known movie starring Russell Crowe involving a gladiator, so this is literally all that's come up immediately. Though that wouldn't look half bad. It's not quite what I was after. Yeah, something a bit more like this, possibly, where this grating is actually like over the front of the snout over here. Figures I come up with something in pure gold when I've just finished the gold texture, but yeah, I kind of dig that. I kind of dig that. The way it feels like more armor. Okay. Just grab like there. Just see how that looks. Just to start. Okay, I forgot this is two pieces. So now the warg is just chewing on their own armor. So is that literally 2 pixels high? Yeah, it's literally 2 pixels high. Somewhat complicates matters. Where is for the full dog? Where is the lower jaw? that's the upper jaw. The lower jaw is right underneath it. Okay. That doesn't seem right, somehow. Hang on. If that's where that is, then that should logically be overlapping here. 4 pixels tall, yeah. There we go. Found it. There. Okay. Wrong layer. Ah, the age-old cry of the artist. Wrong layer. Okay, we need to shift these pixels slightly, but ooh, I think that's working. Look underneath you. Up to the sky. There we go. Okay, need to flip that. that is definitely a look, sir. That is definitely a look. Yeah. Does that look better or worse for actually being properly overlapped now? Maybe a bit worse. Kind of just reads as noise. I fear that the sheer like resolution might be fighting me here. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. Okay, track that out another pixel, I think. Kind of makes him look like a bear. Well, he already kind of looks like a bear, but... So there's just like one kind of armor I can put on these guys. The head is definitely hard to get right, I think. Okay, closer in. A little bit, but not so much that it's actually clipping into the snout at all. And that bit there is kind of accentuating the fang, which I like quite a bit. Call it a fang guard, I guess. They try and put similar things on the boots, I think. Like somebody's trying to embellish the warg by giving it armor that accentuates its natural attributes. And baby put his booties on the wrong way. Which side to switch here? Oh, we'll find out. Okay, that one's correct. This one isn't. To both be on the outside, then that needs to be basically there, I think. Of course, the theoretical massive overkill solution here, where we just have literally different models for every kind of vanilla armor, and dear God, that would take a lot out of me. Okay, so I need to flip this, I think. The other one looks good. Okay. What do we think, Jess? That looking good? Oh, I went right past my break. Wow, didn't I? When you get too sucked into something. Right, I will be back in about 10 minutes. And we'll move on to possibly the most complicated color of armor there could be, which of course, oh god, which of course is going to be leather. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a nice little break there. And so far, we have managed to, I think, pretty much nail, oh boy, nail gold and diamond armor for our wargs, which gives us the grand total of iron, gold, and diamond. But there is one more, and it's a bit special, which is to say, it is leather armor. Apparently, I guess. There. I'm not honestly even 100% certain if you can dye these, because as near as I can tell, there is only one texture for horse armor, which would suggest that either none of it is dyed or all of it is dyed. Let's find out together, shall we? Because I'm kind of curious now. And there's... This is literally the only place I have a crafting table around here, apparently. Okay. Okay, you can dye it. What does it look like when you dye it? Okay, that piece, the bridle, I believe, is purely from the saddle. So yeah, it literally just dyes the entire thing, which results in this weirdness. It's not a great look. Also, I just noticed that the horse has armored ears. It's, okay. But our wargs deserve a little bit better than that. So, we actually do have two textures for them, which means we need to determine what parts of this get dyed and what parts don't. I feel like it's obvious that the straps shouldn't get dyed, so I'll just remove those right away. It's also a question of just how much alike we want this armor to be to the others, considering it's basically decorative. This is like what you put on your warg when you're taking them to a show or something. So maybe we just, like, remove the bottom pieces and have this be treated as kind of like a drape. Yeah, that sounds like it. Good. In which case, we're going to want to retexture it first, and then actually determine what parts get textured or not. Okay, so everything on the bottom needs to go away. I don't think there's a whole ton of under armor for wargs, but let's have a look. There might be. Let me try refreshing these just real quick. Because right now they are just purely block texture. Okay, yeah, there's not really a whole ton there to begin with. Which is fine by me. This part I think can stay as is. Obviously we want to take out the sheen for most of this. I think we lose the boots and the leg brace entirely. Someday I will get used to the altered keybinds for this program, but it is not this day. What's a good... Yeah, the way that... yeah, this is why this doesn't work so well with horses. The way that tinting works in Minecraft, it's... Generally speaking, you have two textures, and one of those textures is monochrome. And it uses the color of each pixel, tinted the color, to create the final view. Which means that when you have colors that aren't black and whites, it's no longer just a brightness issue. Like, it works fine here, but here we have brown. What color do you think brown's gonna be when you add blue to it? Answer, sickly green. Right, I think that's a good old start. Just have a quick look and see how that seems. Strong guess the original horse texture didn't include having that. Let me just clear out the overlay entirely, just so we can solely work over here, and then when we're done figuring out what this actually looks like in shape, we can port parts of it over. So goodbye, red. That looks pretty good, I think, to me. So now how about... I think that needs to be actually down to the bottom of it. That is this part from right here. Bring that down a bit more. Maybe get rid of this strap entirely at that stage. Okay, now this back piece does need to come down lower. Yeah, that there should be fine. Basically, we're just looking for this to look like it's been draped over them. Try and make it look a bit more like draped fabric than what it currently does. Is that that must be that part just behind it. Yeah, right there. Oh, there's only one strap to that way, I can see. Oh, no, there might be a second one there. There's no strap across the butt as far as I can see. Apologies for this invasive examination. Is that all the way down that it needs to be? Yes, it is. Okay. Where does this part go? Is that the butts? Is that where the butt texture is? Doesn't look like it's where the butt texture is. Not 100% certain where that is. That is the butts. Okay. Confirmed. We have found the butts, everybody. We lift this back up by about a pixel, but otherwise that is definitely ready to be made to look like more like fabric. Like draped leather. Definitely getting rid of the sparkle. Okay. Yep. We need to move a piece there, but otherwise, looking good. Looking good. Okay, very simple, but that's fine. Now I should be able to just override this without having to worry too much about removing stuff here, but we will do later on just for cleanliness. Okay, back to red, please. Yeah, you can just make it out there, the whiteness. That's why you want to remove that. But that looks pretty nice. Do we want to remove the helmet as well? Like, is the helmet level adding anything to this? I don't think it is, honestly. Let's see it with like everything on. Never mind, this is like the messiest I could possibly make this texture. If I got rid of the head, it'd be a little harder to tell if they were wearing leather armour. Let's test it. Let's have a look at least. If you were very, very, very careful, you could actually make this look completely like they're not wearing armor at all, but it feels like an edge case. I think that looks fine, more or less. I mean, we could maybe do with adding, if I grab a leather armor for me, you can see that when we dye everything, it doesn't dye everything. Although it does dye most things on this. It used to be that there was patches that it would stay brown. At the very least. They might have changed. I guess they changed that. Things I hadn't noticed because I was too busy yelling at the horse model. But I do think this looks good. I do like it. It's basically just a little coat for them. That looks nice. Which I guess brings me with the last question of, do I want to actually just model a saddle or just leave it as is? Because it is with the horses, saddle is part of their texture. It is repeated in every texture that they have, which is awful and terrible. And really, really, really means it can't be reused basically anywhere at all. So do I just model one for the wargs? That is my question. What do we think, chat? I think I'm just going to finish off the texture here for leather. I think that's good. I think it's in a good place. Cam says model. I realize in order to do model, I have to create the model and then texture the model. And add a render layer for the model, but I think that's actually already accounted for. Like, it's a lot more work than just having it be a texture, but... Also, hi. Yes, hi, Cat. Okay, do I want to change contrast here? I think maybe a little bit. This is meant to be bright red. How does that compare to me? It's pretty much the same, I think. Got haste just because I went near the phylactery over there. It's pretty close. I might want to leave it just as is then. Yeah. Yeah, the saddle texture appears in basically every single thing that's meant to be on a horse. Every single time. Yes, there we have our wargs in their poncho, I guess, the little rain poncho, little raincoat. God, I had a Jack Russell Terrier as a kid, and he was very adorable. And at one point, we did get in like a little tartan raincoat, and it was so adorable. So whenever we took him out, like into the countryside or whatnot, he had to wear it. It was so cute. Oh, memories, memories. Okay. Well, the vote appears to be for a model, so now I have to make a model. But I can at least get rid of the armor textures here. Alright. Oh, what did I call it? Is it Goblin Wolf or something to that effect? Entity... Warg renderer, there you are. Saddle. Okay. So since I already have a layer for this, it's relatively straightforward to make it just show up. I'm effectively already just rendering another texture on top of them with the saddle texture. So, yeah, we shouldn't have a problem with that. The one thing that worries me is the 0.3f there, because that is to be the scale. But we shouldn't have to worry too much about that. Next question, do I have Techni on this machine? I feel like I already... I feel like I have. Okay. Futz. Okay. Right, Techni stopped working a while back. Posted 2019. Oh boy. Evidently, this has been a problem for a good long while. Have I not had to model any entities since 2019 or earlier? Well, guess I have to figure out Tabula. At long last, I am forced to use Tabula. I think. Pretty sure Tabula is an in-game modular, though, so I don't know. Yep, this is in-game. Goody. Which means I actually need to have this inside of a functioning Minecraft mod pack so that it will actually work. Oh, I missed Techne already. Okay, right. Little treats? Oh, thank you, Elka. Let's see, what do I got here? I have dairy milk. Simple and to the point. Ooh. Right, well, let's start by creating ourselves model warg saddle. Belongs to the Aegis property? Yes. We had... Wait, in order to make Elemental not keep falling over during streams, I had to replace his entire C drive. And I got basically everything installed again. At least everything that Elemental needs, actually, these days. But had some trouble verifying some of her parts. So, no DSLR function today. Okay, the jaw is not necessary. The mane is necessary for the time being. The legs are not, and nor is the tail. And I should have something already. Getting the head parts. Where is that? Might just be for that. Okay. Don't need to make a reference to any of those, so let me just... Legs, be gone. Heads, be gone. Tail, be gone. Jaw and tongue, leg spacing. I believe leg spacing is irrelevant. Yeah. And then basically anything referencing anything but the body. We don't care about. Most people don't get head parts. Yeah, that's what I thought. Can I just return an empty list? Yes, I can. Hooray! Right. So that gives us a version of the warg model that is just the parts that actually have a saddle part input. So now I just need to figure out how to actually model said elements without actually being able to see what I'm modeling. But hey, it's a good step. It's a good step. Let's just boot this and make sure I haven't hacked anything. Non-zero possibility that I have hacked something, but let's find out. At the very least, from the looks of this blog post, Tabula should be relatively straightforward to get the cresps with, because it's literally meant to be a replacement to Techne. Well, it's meant to be a successor to Techne. Okay, if I give you a set. You already have a saddle. Okay, there we go. Okay, the fact that that appears at all tells me this is working. Good. So, next, I guess I need to get I need to get some kind of workspace running so I can actually get, well, not a workspace, but like a mod pack going. Some quick, cheap mod pack to get tabular in. Right. Let me see, it's 116.5. Can I literally chuck this into my Will of Madness mod pack that I use for having replay mods? Probably not, because I think that is fabric, because replay went the way of terrible things. Is this forge? Is this forge? I don't know. All I see is what it is, so I presume it's forge. Clearly the superior choice. Right, that might take me a little bit longer to do. Not too much longer, but a little bit longer. Oh, wait, no, I have, like, HUD mods for World of Madness 116, so I might actually just be able to chuck this in. Okay. This is where things are going to get really scuffed. Okay, don't need that open right now. I need to try and figure out where exact... I forgot this. There. I need to figure out where exactly my save is for that. I presume that's under app data. Okay, right. I think this is where I have everything for World of Madness. Which, by the way, does have a video coming out this week. One way or the other. It's a fairly short video, but I've had a lot to deal with the past couple of weeks. So apologies for that. Oh, World of Madness 118. Okay, where is 116 located? Okay, that's literally what I was looking at. Good. I understand. Go away. Also, if anyone hasn't booted the Minecraft launcher in a little bit, if you do so, you'll see little LAs, like a pair of them over here, then they'll just dance around in that sparkle Minecraft Legends, which is a teeny tiny thing, but it's honestly kind of cute. I dig that. That's pretty cute. Okay, please work 116. You don't need to be there for much more than this evening, but come on, please. There isn't even that much in this save, it just hasn't been booted in a while. Check the... Okay, so we know this is what the warg's torso looks like the whole time. Tap requires iTunes utils. Of course, there's more here. Okay. Putting together mod packs is never that easy. No mention of this needing of this needing ISO util, by the way, on this page. Not a single note. Let's see, 10.5.1, yep. And below 0.11. Oddly specific, but I'll take it. You're gonna behave now. That's a statement, not a question. You will behave now. Futs. Okay, right, fine. Borderless is a really handy thing to do. It just turns Minecraft's standard full screen into actually being borderless, so that when you click out of things, the whole thing doesn't minimize. But fine, if I have to make this be literally just these two mods, then fine. Okay. Super flat, structures. Let's see, game rules. Progress for crafting, no, don't care about that. Respawn immediately, sure, fine. Disable raids. No phantoms, no mobs, no villager patrols, no wandering traders. Don't care about any of that. Do not advance. No fire. Definitely no weather. And pretty much all of that can be off. I don't think it'll be necessary. Go. Okay. Right. Brand fresh new world. So let's see. Wax tablets from Tabula. Right. New projects. Scale's fine. Texture, width, and height. How big do we need this to be? Let's keep it as that for the time being. It should be okay. Okay. New cube. Hello, cube. So this wants to be body. And the dimensions wants to be 6, 4, and 5. With an offset of -3, 2.5, and -2. Does that need to be rotated? That feels like it needs to be rotated. Probably fine. Probably fine. this is 5.4. And negative 2.5, negative 1, and negative 1.5. Okay, yeah, that definitely needs rotating, looking at it. Let's see, 8, 5, and 8. And then we want to be -3 across the boards. -5 and 8, and it's -3 across the board. Okay, fine. Okay, rotation point of this. Oh, that's right. That's rotation, not okay. Right. Not to worry. I'm an idiot. It's fine. These things happen. Okay, there is no given rotation for this. Which means it should be fine, except it's currently attached to things it shouldn't be. Okay. 6, 2, and 7. And the offset is -2, -1, and -7. We are literally just rebuilding the warg right now. Things happen, also so does gravity, the fork fell in the keyboard out here. And let's see, 22 and 33 for that texture. And what was this one's? 22. Definitely off of the texture here, but that's fine. I can't modify that without modifying everything, so main 2 does get rotated aside from everything else. That's a bit of a bother. Okay, well, for right now at least it's fine. So we want to add 3 and 4 to its offset. Well, that's certainly looking a bit like our warg right there. If I finish that a little bit there, okay. Yep, that position's fine. Right, yes. I did mention borderless is nice, because if you click outside of full screen Minecraft, it will otherwise minimize the whole thing. Okay. Let's see. If they're not sleeping, then their body is at 14 and 2, and pi over 2, which I believe that's 90 degrees? And the main then goes to -1, 15, and -3. And its rotation is the same. Okay, that certainly looks like the body of our warg. Okay. Very good. I can't rotate these individually. That's fine. It's fine for right now. Okay, right. We have successfully gotten ourselves a semblance of our wargs. So, did it again. Now we just need to ideally plug these in. Here we go, as some walls. That's not quite what I was going for, actually, but it's fine. There. Call that our base. Yes, there's a cube up here, but we don't care about it. It's fine. It is merely a means by which I make everything else go right. There. Okay. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Go grab yourselves a nice little snack and whatnot. To begin putting a saddle over this. Apologies for how long that's taken me, but oh well. This is how things be occasionally. Okay, catch you then. Welcome back, everybody, to the final hour of our evening here, and we've gotten Tabula working first and foremost, and inside of it we have a clone from the code of the warg's body. Onto this, we are going to be attempting to add an actual saddle, so that it's not just a shape that has been vacuum formed to the creature's body, which works ishly okay for horses because their torso is one cube, but not so much for our wonderful cute little wargs because they have a much more dynamic body shape. So that's what we're working on for the final hour of our evening. So I'm going to be tapping out of this a bunch tonight for like the last hour, so consequently we are definitely going to be seeing my desktop a whole bunch. Not much I can do about this. Borderless didn't let me actually do anything. It's laying in bed crow today? Yes. I guess I'm explaining this every hour of the evening. I had to replace Elemental's C drive, the main part where everything is. Elemental is the streaming computer, so I've reinstalled basically everything, but we had some trouble getting the DSLR working, so I am just being represented by Russell today. I should be back on full camera for Thursday's stream, at the very least. But anyways. So. There aren't a lot of dog saddles in the world, it has to be said. Oh dear lord, Lycanite. Does Lycanite really have... What? I know Lycanite has... Oh god, this heckin' mod. Oh. Do they have saddles? Is there a saddled warg model? Not that I can see. Okay. That's very much a Steve picture, isn't it? So, that is more or less... I think we might be able to get away with just one cube going across the side here. Or the top, rather. I don't think that'll be too difficult. So let's get our thing going here. We'll tie this to the body, because why not? Okay. So if anybody's unfamiliar, this is Tabula, which we are admittedly mainly, almost exclusively even, using because, well, Techni don't work no more. How wide do we need to be? I think we can settle for 6. Yep, 6 is actually pretty damn close. I think that's fine. Lycanite spots are always kinda cringe in the design department. I think that's mostly on Minecraft's end. Perhaps look at the better dog spot. I will get that poke. I will say, I will commend Lycanite for not just making another mod of Minecraft. Like, just another mod that is cubes. I think that much is to be commended. I'm personally very much not a fan of what they accomplished, but I think having at least one Minecraft mod that isn't just cubes everywhere is nice. That's good. That's functionally what we're always searching for when we look for like a lot of detail mods. Like Chisels and Bits is an excellent example of that. It was just that it ended up being so incredibly far removed from Minecraft itself that it looks awful. Okay, now we have a slight hiccup here, which is that this part does move. Can I duplicate this? Do I have that option? Yes, I can. Very good. Well, quite sure why it's done everything else that's happened here, but, yeah. Ah, because the positions are clear. Okay. Infuriate's great in application, not as great. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that. Did you enjoy recreating the remember symbol using chisels and bits? Yeah. Okay, and 2. Is that all the details there? I think. Yeah, that all looks to be identical. Grand. Okay, so when our wargs are sitting... Let's see, the body rotates. To pi over 4, which is logically 45 degrees. And its rotation point is 18, which is 4 higher than it is here. And main 2 gets a rotation angle of negative 12.5 radians, which I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Apparently that's 716, like negative 716 degrees, which seems wrong. Oh wait, no, that's 2 radians, so it's negative 12.5 degrees. Okay, save myself some trouble, thank God. Okay, main itself is pi times 2 over 5. Oh, past me, you're doing me no favors here. Pi 2 over 5. I don't know what number that is off the top of my head at all. Well, let's presume that that's at least fairly close. Okay, that's not gonna let me do that, so... Main 2 is... yes, there's a child of main. Good. Minus 1, 2... That's free. And we worked out it was negative 12.5. That's the wrong dimension. 6 and 2, that's one thing off. -2, +2, -3. Texture coordinates don't really matter for this. Why does this appear to be so far off is my next question. Let's see, rotation point of that's +3 and 4. Okay, that needs to be negative. Apparently it won't let me type in, but okay. Oh, because I'm an idiot again. Never mind. -7, -1, -2 is correct. Okay. Ha! And everything else. Rotation point of the main does change. -1, 16, -3. Yes, that's correct. The body also moves a little bit. Okay, that is probably closest, at least we're getting, to what the body looks like when the warg is sitting. I think. I'd have to boot up the actual instance to see what else it looks different. So, given our saddle, how does this look like if we rotate it when they're doing that? We probably want to have some... we would probably want to move this around a little bit, I think. Because otherwise they're going to look a little bit funky. In which case, do we want to have this start behind there? Probably. Yeah, we're going to want to change the rotation point, I think. Okay. I don't want to really manipulate this model too much, so this is going to be a little weird at points. I don't need to worry too much about it clipping because we are going to be scaling it by about 30% anyways. that's how that would look when they're sitting. I think that's okay. We could maybe stand to make this a bit taller so it stands out a bit more. Do something a bit more like that. With the proper texture, I think that will happily resemble a saddle. And it shouldn't cause too much clipping. Okay. Hang on and grip there. Exactly. Okay. So that gives us texture, that gives us cubes, gives us coordinates that we can use. My understanding of this is that we can now export. But heck if I know how to do so. Exports. As a Java class, I don't know how much I trust the Java here, but let's find out. And this would be... Next question, where the heck did that just end up? Like, where? Where did that go? I'm gonna guess it went somewhere around here. Yeah, tabula, export. There we are. Okay. Can I export a texture as well, out of curiosity? I don't see anything about exporting a texture here, just the project. Export, texture map. Same deal? Same deal. Okay. Right. We're getting there. Okay. Let's drag that in here. And oh, I need the model. Yes, we expect there will be problems. It's fine. Oh, oddites. I mistyped. There, you're fine. And where is our saddle layer? There's our saddle. Okay. So that is the... I believe that's the coordinates of the first piece. Yeah, there we go. That's the second. And they don't differ from one another, so we can just use the one. Just need to make sure they have the right coordinates, which they don't seem to. See, the big one is 0, and the small one is 24. That's the exact same thing. Whoops. Where's the rest of my thing here? Where's my seat? Well, rubber, is that the seat? No, that's the actual, like, brace. Where's the seat going? Let's see. 6 by 6 by 6. Do we see anything in here that's a 6 by 6 by 6? No. No, we don't. Evidently Tabula has some problems. But one thing it did give us is the numbers we need. So there's that. Except that I can't see them because of the way Minecraft handles being full screen. Okay. Now we need to remember that this is accounting for a 14 offset here. So let's just do ourselves a favor and reverse that. So then this would be 11? Yep. So, seat itself. Delta, yep, that should be it. Minus 3, 0, minus 1, 666, scale in, very important, or else this will not scale with the size of the warg, so consequently it might clip when we intend. And then the hold on. And that is minus 3.5f, minus 1, minus 2. Okay, and the animations. So we determined that we need different. If they're not sat, then rotate angle x equals 0f. We will allow it to actually have shake angle. Why not? It should. Otherwise it'll clip horrifyingly. Otherwise. Okay, and when it is sat down, the angle is negative 45. Which is the same as the body, I believe. And we did have to move the rotation point, I believe. So that should be 15 times 2. Yes, whereas otherwise it's 11. So that should be fine. That should all be good. Its texture isn't going to look right just yet, but that's fine. Just gonna get rid of that. Why is this complaining? There's literally no errors in here. Structure model warg saddle float is undefined. No, it's not. It's fine. Okay, last detail here is the texture file. Because that's the saddle right now. Just gonna mark that as gold. And hardly any of this texture is actually used. But that's fine. And I believe green there isn't necessary, all of that's necessary. Or is... The green isn't necessary because of the underside. The red and the mauve, I don't know. Auburn, burgundy, whatever you call it really. I don't know what this is having trouble with, because clearly that is not the problem here. Yeah, now hopefully it'll let us boot. Apparently not. Despite the fact it can very clearly see the thing. Apparently that solves it, for some reason, despite the fact that is not what I was using. But okay. Java, you're being silly again, I see. Out of curiosity, what is the middle green line of the rainbow flag supposed to be represented of? Nature, apparently. Apparently, Russell is opposed to the inclusion of nature as part of Pride. Okay, well, we clearly didn't define the texture size, did we? We didn't change that. Yep. Okay, what is the scale of this image? 64 wide by 32 tall. There. Do have to reboot for that, unfortunately. Don't think we'll leave this open. This is definitely going to set wargs apart from horses. One of a long list of things it does, but honestly, this is a feature that I think vanilla horses need as well. Okay, have a look. Good. That looks considerably more than 1 point deep, but that's fine by me. Okay. Now we can start texturing this. And I can close this. No, don't worry about it. Right. So that looked like I had all of the right textures on this. Good, good, good. But you need to trim this part a fair bit. Can I tell you to sit, please? Oh, that is... I missed a negative somewhere. Because it's clearly the opposite direction. The rest of it's fine. I have 18 minutes of stream left. How quickly can I texture this model? Feature I'd like Minecraft to just have by default, borderless full screen. Okay, and sitting, perfect. Yeah, that looks fine to me. I think that blends quite nicely. Okay, good, good, good. So, textures. Let's get the old in here. Okay. That definitely looks a lot more like sun. Where do I sit on this thing? Right up to the front of it. But I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Okay. I can get rid of that part. Just gonna lead right into this anyways. of the horse armors. Just so I can see the stirrups a little bit. Stirrups might actually not be included. And this is a model that I can shove onto basically everything. Okay, how's it look? How is our fancy boy looking? Less than 20 to go. That definitely looks like a saddle. That definitely looks like a saddle. I think that's time. Could maybe do it being shoved a little bit further forwards, at least when it's, what's the phrase? At least when they're stationary, like they're horizontal like that. Oh, that's a terrible discovery. Oh. Somebody, I'm guessing Fuzz has their window open. Because all I'm smelling now is weed. Really bad quality weed. Oh joy. What a time to end. Okay. Yeah, I think we can maybe stand to shut that look full, actually. Oh no, it is actually breaching slightly there. Oh well. Yeah. A few things as foul as the distant smell of bad weed. Right. Anyways, I'm calling that done for the warg textures. So there's a little bit of held item rendering detail that we need to fix. I don't think I can give these guys actually a held item. But I have a doggo over here for just such a demonstration. So whenever he talks, it moves slightly. That might be okay though. That might be fine. Yeah. I think that's sufficiently close. Also, this is a DDD, Dance Dance Doggo. Do I want to call that done as well? I think that's good. I'm going to call that good. Okay, so let me see. There's a few little tweaks here. Adjusting mob vision, making sure that we can go from Goblin to Goblin Tamer to right down the line to Warg Rider. A little bit of body spawning unreliability. I do want to add a quick thing for the warg here. There. Otherwise, it is very much just tiny little tweaks. Which might mean I don't have a stream as normal next week, depending on how much of this I can get done off camera, or how much of this I want to get done off camera, I guess. But there's 13 total tasks listed in here. Not all of those are things that will be done this version, if at all. And then there's like 3 major things left on the to-do. So we should definitely be able to get a brand new release version of various oddities. The Foundation update. Probably definitely within this month, maybe by next week. We'll see. Otherwise, that is all I have for tonight. I hope you've all enjoyed. My next stream, which should include my regular face cam, should be back on Thursday with Lucian. I have a brand new drone to deploy, and I can also finish up my battleship, or battlecraft combat, my combat vehicle, the SBML, or the Shine Bright Morning Light. And then on Saturday, we should have the carousel with random games with the patrons. And we'll be back on Tuesday for possibly the last stream before the new version. Other than that, any videos I make are over at youtube.com/linetube, and everything I do is powered by you at patreon.com/line. Hope you've all enjoyed. I've been Lying, this has been Russell, and I'll catch you all next time.